Hello, this is the second part of today's lesson, so I'm just going to tell you what we did. So, basically, sorry, I'm clearing my throat. So, basically, we all go in a circle and we said, okay, we need to discuss our relationships with my character with you and my character with you and etc etc. So we're just going down with a list of like who are we basically friends with. So I found out well to do that first of all we had to like not just sit around in a circle. We had to actually get up, talk to that person, say okay, let's agree and disagree that we are mutual with this character. The reason why we had to do so is because if we didn't do that, then basically what will happen is on stage I can say to myself, I'm friends with this guy. I've known him since birth. And what if that person said, I hate this person with a passion. I despise him. He's been my enemy since year seven. Like, you get what I mean. So, what we did is walked around, asked people who we friends with and all that stuff. I went over to, I'll tell you which one I said for every character. For Kathy, um, actually, start with simple. Richard's John Tate and Richard's relationship is like a love hate relationship. Basically, I knew him in year seven. We played football a lot, like during break and lunchtime and after school and all that, etc. etc. I took his spot in football, one of the important spots, because I guess I was a better player. And as a result, he got a little bit jealous. So he started chatting some mad stuff about me. Just to keep in mind, me and Richard do have our ups and downs, but it's like bickering most of the time. So when people found out that me and Richard were having this beef in year eight, it's year eight, yeah. They wanted us to fight, and we don't really like to fight as much. So we just said, you know what, let's act like men and just say, you know what, let's call this all off and just become mates because we can't do that. So we just said to ourselves that we're mates, which was fine by me, really. But even though we say we're mates, we still have our ups and downs a lot, especially in the play. Like, for example, I mentioned to Richard, whose side are you on? Are you on that guy's side or you're on your best mate's side? I thought we were mates. I thought we got over this silliness. It's like me saying that, are you bringing this all up again after all we've been through? Like, just those sort of stuff. So it's like a love-hate relationship with Richard. Brian, me and Brian are, it's kind of weird, really. But by the way, I'll get to the friend groups just in a second. Actually, no, I'll get to it now. So the friend groups, right, my friend group mainly is I'm hanging around with Richard, Kathy, Lou, Danny, and Brian. No, I don't hang around with Brian, sorry. It's mainly Lou, Richard, Danny, Kathy. Yeah, that's my friend group. So, as for Brian, yes, he can be. He is really annoying. Let's just say that. The reason why my character finds him very annoying is because he's very random and he's just confusing most of the time. I was just like, what's up with this guy? He's just, what is actually wrong with him? Um, even though he is annoying, I still enjoy his company a lot. Reason being is because I get to torment the guy, which I do it in public so people can see me actually tormenting him in a silly way. So I will get the attention, and people will know in the school like, oh, he's very aggressive with that guy, Brian. So if I was you, I wouldn't mess with that guy. So that's what we said with him. With Danny, Danny's a bit. Oh, how I met him. He just walked around to the school. I just see him as an easy target to bully. As for Danny, I met Danny from Lou's friends. Okay, let's go with Lou because you might find that kind of confusing. Lou is one of my not childhood, but like he's been with me since year six, early primary school. We've been close buddies. We moved to year seven. I'm still close with him now. I basically, because I'm a popular person in high school, I sort of like gave him popularity a bit because he's with me. So more or less, I can technically ruin his life, which he's afraid of. So he doesn't really stand up to me or anything like that because he knows with a click of my fingers, I can just say, you know what, get out of my group. I'd say my group, controlling. I can be very controlling towards him, but not in like a cruel way. But I do it in like a easy, manipulative way. Like I do it in a way which like I'm friends with you, but don't get me wrong, I will slap you if you do get out of line, something like that. And yeah, I knew him since year 7, no, since primary school, late primary school, and we've just been cool ever since. We've been mutual friends, so that's my relationship with Lou. As for Danny, Danny is friends with Lou. Ever since we joined year 7, we, me and I also forgot to mention that me and Lou sort of like split up because like due to different classes and all that, so I didn't really have anyone. Lou had Danny, so Lou was mainly friends with Danny a lot. So when it came to lunchtime, I used to see Danny a lot during lunchtime, and I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Danny? How's it going?" But I wasn't really like that in reality. In reality, I just see him as like an irrelevant character, and if he gets in my way, then I will basically threaten him to just anything. For example, when we're talking about banning a word, and Danny's like, you can't ban a word, and I say, well, just say the word and see what happens if you decide to not listen to me. But I'm like that with everyone, but Danny, I'm more like that as well. I do find him very annoying as well. Another example is where he tells Kathy to shut up, and I'm like, don't tell Kathy to shut up, which I'm gonna get to. Kathy is more like a secret relationship with her. Like I do like her a lot, but I tend to keep it secret, but I expose it more than keeping it secret. That makes sense. We met in high school again during the friend group. She's mainly friends with Richard, and when we had this whole argument with me and Richard, she sort of like stepped in and said what's going on and all that sort of stuff. So that's how I technically know her. Ever since our whole fight in year 8, and yeah, I'm mutual with Kathy. I tend to show off around her. For example, when I take Richard's hat and I wear it and I look at her, wink at her, she's like, just give it back to him. I'm like, no, fine. Yeah, she don't approve my good looks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's my relationship with Kathy. Mark, I'll get to that. Leah or Liam. Leah, I'll just say Leah. Leah, she's in my class. She's in my tutor. I find her very, very annoying. I mean, very annoying. But I still hang around with her because it's like, well, I don't actually hang around with her. She's basically like those annoying friends who just tags along and like, go away, like you're not part of this group, just leave. I'm friends with you, but you're kind of irrelevant right now in this group. I find her very annoying, but I'm still sort of mutual with her. How I became friends with her during tutor time, she just wouldn't shut up about her problems, and sometimes I like to mimic her or just take the mick out of her, but I do it in a way which is like, it's fine, it's banter. It's just banter. So yeah, that's my relationship with Kathy. As for, who have I done? I haven't done Jan, Mark, Phil, and I think that's it. Okay, so for Jan and Mark are like civil characters. Oh, and I haven't done Adam, so they're the 3 I need to do. Or 4. Jan and Mark are civil people. We're basically like the troublemakers. We like to cause trouble a lot. For example, we just gossips. We gossip little stuff. Of course, they're the main people that do the gossip, but I'm more or less like more civil with Jan and Mark. So we make like these secret jokes. We're in English most of the time, and we met in English, so we more or less just like make the funny jokes and all that. They're like the first people I look up to before I gain that confidence and I overtake them. Like, listen, you guys gotta listen to me now because I can easily just As for Adam, Adam was technically my first friend in high school. So when me and Lou split up, it's like a different class year, I didn't really have no one to talk to. So I turned to Adam and I spoke to Adam a lot. Like, he was like a really nice person a lot. But then when my ego got higher and my popularity got higher, I said to myself, you know what? Look at like these friends I have right here. They're so much better than Adam. So Adam didn't leave me. I left him over, over all my friends. And I said, yeah, but I still find him cool, but I do take the mick out of him a lot. For example, I threw leaves at him. That's the example. And I do care for him a lot, because I don't care for him a lot, but you know what I mean? Like when he fell, I was panicking. Like I was like, oh my gosh, Adam's probably, gone. Like that guy who I actually like is probably gone. Like I do show signs of like, um, what's the word? Sympathy towards Adam, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I feel bad for him. And we met in the start of year 7 during English before I sort of like popularity go higher. And finally, Phil, Phil is like a character where it's like, I'm almost like, basically I was chill with him, I was civil with Phil, but then the popularity, not popularity, people basically looked up to him more, and I was just in the corner like, what happened to me? I thought I was the leader. So every time I stand up to Phil, he sort of like says like, yeah, I'm ready to stand up to you because I know you talk a lot, and I know you like to use that mouth a lot, basically. So it's more like a, oh gosh, I can't really say anything to this guy. This guy's like more intimidating than me, more or less. So we just went with that, and yeah, that's more or less my. Oh, I met him during the what was it again? I'm trying to remember again. It was in year when my popularity got higher. So I was saying late year 7. Yeah, late year 7. And yeah, that was more or less it, really. Yeah, that's more or less what we did the whole lesson, And oh, there was one more thing. We said that this is set on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, only because like it gives us time to reflect on like what to do with like the whole Adam situation. Plus, his parents or teachers aren't too worried yet, so it doesn't make us look suspicious. And yeah, that's everything I can say right now. That's what we did more or less the whole day. And yeah, I'll see you next time.